What's going on, everybody? We got Johnny from the All New Nerds, and we're going to talk about all the fun, nerdy news we have this week. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Hang in there. We're going live in just a minute.
We're going live.
We're going live. What's up, everybody? We're
Hello.
gonna wait just a minute. Let some people show up if they're not
Alright.
here already. Let us know you can hear us. We got Johnny from All New Nerds.
Hello.
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 We'll give it a minute.
Alright.
Yes, dude. So you and Levi had a pretty good discussion yesterday. I was able to tune in for like
Yeah.
maybe
we
like
talked about
20,
it.
30 minutes, but I was distracted. I was doing other stuff. I kind of like
That's okay.
every time I was like, oh, I like put a comment in. I was just mentioning to you, it's kind of hard sometimes on streams to like time
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, it delays. It's a delay.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I was like dying to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, man. Because
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad. This is what number
34.
Oh, my
Oh.
goodness.
I know.
We've done a
That's
lot
crazy.
of these. That's crazy.
Yes, we have done a lot of these, man. It's been
Wow.
fun. It's been well, you know what? That's a fun topic altogether. It's just this year in general has been
Yeah.
like just it's constantly a topic of like the amount of content, the wealth of content we're getting this year,
I know.
and how just nonstop it's been.
It's been crazy.
And now it's become the norm, especially with like COVID
Yeah.
in the background and everybody kind of like having a little bit of extra time to like watch streaming shows and catch
Yeah.
up on stuff and maybe get into things that they weren't as into, like Marvel or, watching shows, but watching Rebels or Clone Wars if
Rebels,
you haven't.
Clone
Yeah, there's a
Wars,
lot of
yeah.
people getting time, catching up on stuff, and it's been
Good.
kind of like,
'Cause there's
yeah,
a lot of
right.
Projects that are coming up that have a lot to do with those shows. So.
Yes, 100%, man. And I know you guys were kind of talking a little bit about the like spoilery nature of some of the topics.
Yeah,
yesterday.
there's some stuff, but we don't
But
need
there's also not like
whatever you want to talk about.
like
I'll
if you
talk
wanted
about
to talk about the Sung Kang stuff.
Yeah, that's not
like
really
that's not spoilery because I feel
No.
like that's a public interview he gave,
that's
right?
yeah, that was a public quote. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You
So I
can-
mean, which
you
is
can find
a
it.
little interesting. Does that mean that that's something that he did mistakenly, and now they're like, oh, it's out, or is that like they encouraged him to go? ahead
I'm
and
honestly
reveal
not sure about
information?
that. I mean, like
That
he
seems like
didn't
something that they would
s-
NDA the hell out of if it wasn't.
But he didn't say. He didn't say who he was playing, but like it's pretty obvious at this point. But
So you think it's obvious that? Okay, we can go ahead and talk about it now. You think?
yeah,
That
if you want to.
I mean, it's in the thumbnail. I put it. That's the,
Okay.
the main. Basically, the fifth brother, or
Yes.
specifically Inquisitors in general, but like more
Inquisitor-
specifically fifth
the
brother. is-
the Inquisitors will be accompanying Vader in this show, and it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real. It's gonna be great. I
Yeah.
words cannot describe how excited that makes me. for
Yeah.
this show,
So
even-
Theory,
even
Star Wars
more.
Theory did a video the other day on this when the news was new.
Mhm.
And I think one of the things he also mentioned was it's still a little bit hard to see how they're going to get Anakin and Obi-Wan to interact in Kenobi just because of what we know
Right.
like that already exists from their relationship and
Well, the thing
how
is-
in New Hope it really seems like they had been separated for all that time and that was their first time like getting back together.
I have a
um,
counter argument, but I can't remember the quote. But it's last time you saw me, I was the learner, but now I am the master. Like there's still yes, it's been the longest like implied thing that that the last time they met was Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar, but there is room for them to meet again. Like that is like it would make sense. Like I wouldn't really mess with canon because obviously they don't specifically say last time on Mustafar is when I saw you. So there is a way to open it up. And I would get more of the complaint with being like, oh, Kenobi's going off planet, which he is. We know he's going off planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that explanation, I don't really know what it would be. I mean, like, I'm imagining someone's gonna watch Luke for a little bit, or Kenobi's gonna try to lead the Empire off planet because
It'd be great if we could get Jamie Costa back in this room like that one time because I feel like the Kenobi fan film took a really interesting look at the Owen Lars situation.
they're definitely gonna have that relationship in the show, which I'm really looking forward to, and obviously Jamie Costa's film nailed that.
And I don't
so.
know if I felt basically watching that movie where I was like, oh, like this is kind of what I hoped like Kenobi would have a lot of, like
I will be shocked if we don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Definitely
funny
gonna
that
get
the
that
fan film came first here in that regard.
Yeah.
And they did a great job with it. I really liked the Kenobi
Yeah.
fan film.
He nailed it.
Yeah,
It's great.
not just him though. I feel like they did a lot with what they and James Arnold Taylor was in it too, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
it wasn't. It didn't.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Hello there. Yeah. It's so
But
good.
yeah, Owen Lars and we've already known that Taron Egerton, right? Is that his No, not Taron Egerton.
No. I forgot his name too. I can look it up.
It's not Edgerton. Who is it? The guy who played Owen Lars.
I know
in the
you're talking about.
prequels.
I know
Yeah.
you're talking about. I forget the actor.
And
I
he'll be
know I
perfect.
know his face.
Well, not perfect age.
Joel
but like he
Edgerton.
Joel
kinda
Edgerton.
close,
There you
kinda
go.
close, Yeah. So yeah, but I think we're definitely gonna get that dynamic. I think that'll really be the focus of the first episode of the show. I think when we see Kenobi on Tatooine hanging out,
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get some kind of scene similar to that. And then whatever happens, and he has to go off planet and whatever. And so back to what we were saying about the Vader and Obi-Wan
Inquisitors.
meeting. I think it would work since Obi-Wan's going off planet, and he's being probably most likely hunted down by either
Okay.
Cody, the Inquisitorius, or both.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking if this Inquisitor thing is really going down, that it's
Yeah.
really going to be sort of like the Inquisitors are going to be kind of like the main bad guys to Kenobi,
Right.
And then Vader's not necessarily going to be like a major interactor necessarily.
No,
with him.
it's gonna be half Obi-Wan, half Vader. Like, we're getting a lot.
Wow. So you mean like this isn't just like the Kenobi series?
No.
This is like the
This is the
Vader.
yes.
Wow. Okay, that's going a lot deeper than I had kind of
That's
pictured it initially.
what has been said, that Vader is very involved in this show.
So they're getting Anakin out of retirement essentially. Well, they're getting
There was some
Hayden
concept art
Christensen.
that leaked. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, of the him
Of
like
Vader.
yeah.
Yeah, in the chamber.
Mhm.
So that's a little piece of it, but I think a lot of it, again, like we were saying, how I think they're gonna basically share the screen. Going back to these flashbacks are going to be pretty heavy, and it's said that this is a very flashback heavy show, or not, maybe not heavy, but like there will be a good amount, and so that opens up the possibility to see Ewan and Hayden
Yes.
as Obi-Wan and Anakin again. Clone Wars era.
Yeah, I figured if there was a decent amount of Ewan like flashbacking or having dreams, forced dreams.
We're gonna see
or
Anakin too.
talking to him in his dreams, maybe kind of thing. But not to me. I feel like the face-to-face confrontation thing is hard because of some. Of
I
the,
know they'll nail it. I don't
Yeah.
have any fear that it's like not gonna not make sense, because like the people who are working on it and the passion with this show especially is
Yeah.
like really
and
good.
Deborah Chow is.
Deborah Chow is great.
Yeah, we only saw like when we had seen one episode from her
Right.
in Mandalorian. It was already like this is the
Right.
best one.
But we know that like Dave's helping out here and there, and
Yeah.
I don't know about John, but it's a big
Like
deal.
back
they
to
know
my
they know
whole-
how big of a deal this is. They know how big of a deal.
Oh, hey Jedi Dick Sensei, you're the only person in chat right now. It seems so. Where is everybody today? Where's our crew, man? Maybe
I don't
didn't
know.
promote the stream enough.
Uh-oh.
No, Johnny, we got it. We'll just keep talking, and eventually
Okay.
somebody who cares will show up.
You can get the
taunt
playback
us.
views.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying about like the NDA situation type of thing.
Right.
I would have thought that just a lightsaber detail alone would be enough.
Yeah,
to,
I don't know.
Whoa, okay, so
anything about
there's
that, but
there's somebody that we don't know to be a Jedi that's already claiming to have using a lightsaber here.
Yeah.
So
he also
pretty much
he
has
also
to be an
said
Inquisitor.
in a prior interview he was like,
oh hey Angie.
in Halloween, like I dress up as Darth Vader and now I get to stand next to him, well on set.
Yeah.
So it's strongly suggesting that no, he's not a Jedi, because some people are like, oh no, wait, what if he's a Jedi? He's not a Jedi. He's a Sith, if anything.
Yeah.
What would make sense is him being the Inquisitor. He's a big dude.
Well, I suppose
So-
if you could get him to be like Quinlan Voss or something, and then like have Vader kill Quinlan Voss or have an Inquisitor kill
No.
Quinlan Voss.
They seem to be hinting at him being on a Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
and
Quinlan Voss
talking to
has to be
Vader
has
and-
to be a black guy too. It has to.
Yeah, like more like Samoan or like Hawaiian, I think was
Yeah.
like that. But yeah. But anyways,
which
but
is funny. 'cause
I
even Tamora Morrison
really wanna
would
see
make a good Quinlan Voss.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's not confirmed, but I wouldn't see it any other way.
It's yeah.
So
And this is going to be presumably. I mean, a lot of
he's
his
alive still too.
fifth brother is dual lightsabers.
Yes.
But
He's
you
got
know,
the
in Rebels, he's
the
they're-
helicopter.
They're helicopter ones.
helicopter.
I think I've
hilt.
seen a lot of people express enough negative sentiment towards that it's like.
What if they
please-
make it cool though?
Oh, you're very optimistic, Johnny.
No, I
You're
I
very
think
optimistic.
I have this like image in my head of like,
Because even animated,
on, like, a
looks kind of
cliff.
corny.
yeah, I know him like on a cliff like doing that, and then just like Obi-Wan's on the ground. and he's
You know what?
just
I'm gonna
helicopter.
give them some credit for
Jump
some. Yeah.
slash fights Obi-Wan. I don't know. Anyways, but I
And
don't know.
he-
I don't know if we'll do that. I'll probably laugh. I think we'll all laugh if we see it, but you
Yeah.
know.
I hope. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've seen this character use his specific lightsabers for this purpose already. So,
Right.
I mean, it's
that wouldn't
It's
ruin
not
the
against the
show for
rules.
you. Yeah.
no. I know there are people out there that they would have that like, oh God, here we go, the
Yeah,
helicopter
maybe.
lightsabers. I already hate it. Let's make 1,000 YouTube hate videos about this one topic. But
Well,
either way, you're right though. They could make it cool, and if they do that and make it cool, and then get me to accept it, like props to them.
yeah. I have full faith in this show that it's gonna deliver.
So we're
So.
gonna see potentially Ewan McGregor, single blue lightsaber, fighting at least
Inquisitors.
one Inquisitor, if
At
not
least one,
multiples.
probably two.
Yeah, and the fifth brother goes along. Is it seventh sister?
It's, I think so.
The seventh sister,
she-
I believe, is his.
she
his
might
sidekick,
be-
right? Which is Sarah Michelle Gellar in Rebels, right?
Right. Yes. Seventh
So
sister. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That would be interesting too.
Oh no! I'm thinking of
You're thinking of second sister Trilla, right?
Yes.
Isn't that second sister?
No,
it's
it's
confusing sometimes. And then ninth
she-
sister is the huge one.
Hold on. I'm looking.
And then there's also like third.
Yeah, the
brother.
second sister is dead. Trilla is dead.
Trilla's dead, and that's
Because
5 years
Fallen
after
Order
Revenge
is
of the
5,
Sith.
and then
Yeah.
this is 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we know the seventh sister and the fifth brother
I
are
think
like
The
sidekicks.
seventh is, yeah, she's alive.
In
yeah,
the
I
same way that Trilla and the ninth sister are like sidekicks in Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a thing? The way that there's always like how
There's
there's
always
like,
two. Well,
it's not like a rule of two. Yeah, it's
Rule
not
of two.
really a yeah.
I mean, it is and it isn't, but
Because for that way, one of the I guess you could say Trilla is the like superior Inquisitor in that
mhm.
in that dual Inquisitor relationship, right? Like
yeah,
Trilla's the one that's kind of in command.
right.
So yeah, you could kind of say that.
And there's, I mean, again, there's
But seventh
the
sister
whole
and fifth
cast
brother
list.
seem like equal. I feel
Yeah,
like.
the whole cast list, like, there's a lot of people we have no idea who they were playing.
Okay, and then I think there was some talk of Maul, being a possibility.
I
but
don't think so.
same thing where it's like same with for me and Obi-Wan and Vader. When you get to Rebels and you see their scene together, it really seems like this is the first time Maul's actually found Kenobi. He's been looking for him,
Right.
and now is his first chance. Right, he does all that holocron stuff with Ezra.
Yeah. Oh,
and...
the Rebels thing is like specifically said that Maul did not know that he was even alive. So
yeah,
it's like, and that's why it was such a revelation. I don't think Maul will have any involvement. However, I do think he will pop up in something soon, but not in this. It just wouldn't make sense.
You also said Cody, which is
Cody. Yeah, because Tem's in the show.
This is a lot further down the line though than, like, like right now in Bad Batch, for instance. I thought we were gonna see Cody in Bad Batch season 1, and we did.
Yeah, we all did.
We did end up getting like Hauser and
I mean, there's still room for him to come in. I mean, we know season 2 is happening. So.
Yeah, but exactly. I feel like Cody is probably slated to. I mean, he has to, right? He's pretty much like he's the clone other than Rex. That's like the main. He's our tie-in to the movies.
I think we will first see him
clone, right? Other than in the movies, I mean.
I think we'll first see him in Kenobi. I think that's what would make sense.
Yeah.
So, because Tam is supposed to be involved.
Well, isn't Kenobi only supposed to be like 6 episodes?
6.
Yeah, okay, so I don't think there's enough room there to have like Cody be a bad guy, have Fifth Brother be a bad guy, have Vader be a bad guy.
There's been a lot of reports on it, but I mean,
to me it makes sense if like Vader is like I said, having sort of like forced conversations with Kenobi or something, and Kenobi's trying to like keep him from finding out about Luke
I thought of that idea, but like I guess they could explain it that they like shut it off after the end of the show, but like I just feel like that wouldn't really work because then like Vader would probably be able to find out where Kenobi is and then find Luke.
Yeah.
So that gets a little iffy.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking of like how Rey and Kylo worked, right? Like kind of similar to that.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
they can't just use the whole like, well, he went to Tatooine just for the sand because he knew Vader would never follow him there.
Well, I mean,
but we already know that he went there. But yeah, I always thought that was a little bit confusing and convoluted. The way it was like, well, why is he taking Luke to the literal like birthplace or like like Anakin's home world and then like his
because Anakin doesn't like it, so I guess that's
it's one of those like hiding him right out in the wide open is like the best hiding spot is like the most likely spot that you would find him.
Right. Yeah. But also like his family is there, I guess. I don't know. I guess. I know there's definitely like a deeper explanation. I just don't know it, I guess.
Michael Cote says, with Star Wars Vision's reality bending lightsaber physics, do you think some of those will port to live content? I haven't seen Vision's content beyond just what they've had in the trailers, so I don't.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't know specifically what that refers to in terms of like
anime is so stylized and like
okay.
It's I don't. I mean, I think like what we have.
I
think action fights is what we have,
Yeah, exactly. I think what it works and it like
anime is a whole different.
Yeah, you take the opportunity to be able to do crazy new things with the animation, then you take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. And I know I've seen people talking like this week and recently about, again, Star Wars theories, saying things like, what if Star Wars had a what if type show like Marvel does?
That's what we're getting.
Yeah, and I just want to be like, I feel like Visions is the closest thing we're going to get to that.
What we're getting. I mean, again, there's also like a book of that already. There's like a book for New Hope and Empire and Return of the Jedi. And I think they're starting with the prequels too. Like they are doing that.
Yeah. With the only difference being, though, that like with the Marvel what if, it's still kind of actually using characters from the
main thing. They're not okay. I should clear myself. They're not like actually. They're not like what ifs. They're more of like little stories within the grand scheme of those stories.
Because even something like Boba Fett.
I forget what the book's called.
Is going to show up in this. Hey, Mandy.
What is that book called? Oh God, I don't remember. But
So like we know there's at least a Boba Fett episode, right? And there's like Tatooine is like an actual
Boba
scene
Fett
of one of the episodes.
In Visions is what you're saying?
So like maybe there's no like actual tie-ins or semi-tie-ins, but there are like locations and characters that are familiar.
Visions is its own thing.
Yeah.
It's not Star Wars canon.
Yeah. Oh, I just mean
they
sort
were-
of with Marvel What If, you could argue
Oh, I see
like,
what you're saying. Yeah.
that there are like relevancies to the actual events of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movies, if you want to look at it that way.
I don't particularly need it, I
The
guess.
the canonicity. The
I think Visions is killing it. So I'm and literally actually, yeah, speaking of Star Wars theory, that's what he's done. That's where he started with What If scenarios.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
videos. So go watch those because
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, some of the first people have seen Visions now, right? Visions has been
I think so.
released to some people, and they're saying it's charming and delightful.
Good.
So that's good.
It's about 2.5 hours, all of the episodes.
I kind of like already asked my boss at work for Wednesday off because I was like, I feel like my like YouTube channel is gonna have like 6 reactions to do, like, or like 7. Like I don't know though. I don't know how it's gonna all play out, like, because they don't release these things until 3 a.m.
No.
and then you can't really. We won't know how long each episode is until then, right?
Yeah.
So for all we know, there are varying lengths. What if like the first episode is like a half-hour episode, but then like the next one is like 9 minutes or something like
That's
that?
probably
it could
that's
be
probably
like
what it's
that.
gonna be though.
So they'll have varying. Like I don't think they're just all gonna be 20-minute episodes. I
No.
think it's gonna be.
No, they're gonna vary because each studio was.
Yeah.
given,
So
like,
now
free
I'm like, oh
liberty to
wow,
do
do I do
whatever.
one long reaction with all the episodes, or do I do each episode
know.
on its own? I think
We
I'm
don't
gonna
we don't
do
know what to do either. So
separate
that makes you
reactions.
feel
I
better.
think, and then
A lot.
Some people don't think about this kind of thing, but like the YouTube algorithm, like I feel like it's usually good to have like one video, like no more than like a video a day. So
Yeah.
that, like that particular video, like
We've learned
catches
that.
the
Yeah.
I don't really know the ins and outs of the YouTube algorithm because like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
Yeah.
if you put like
Sometimes it really doesn't.
you release a video and then like 4 hours later you release another one, that second one might bury the first one
Yeah.
in terms of the traffic you get from it. I don't know.
It's yeah.
But then
we're,
again,
we're
I don't
figuring
wanna,
it out too.
I don't
We
want to wait
even
a
know.
whole week
so.
to do a reaction.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I think with Cobra Kai season 3 on this channel, I did like a couple a day.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And that ended up panning out pretty well.
That's good.
So I don't know. Well, I'll see how it goes on Wednesday, but
Hmm.
at the very least, I'm probably going to be recording reactions, if not
Right.
releasing them.
You can always do that. But
And I've seen a couple of articles. I know you've seen them too. I think recently of like they've released some details of like some of the ships and the characters that we're going to be seeing and
Mhm.
some of the inspiration behind those characters. And it sounds really interesting.
it's gonna be great. I
And we're
cannot
going to
wait.
see some Sith action and some Jedi
We're gonna get
action
like
and,
the coolest lightsaber animation stuff you've
yeah.
ever seen.
And
so-
also some new. It looks like some new species and some new like.
Yeah.
Because anime has a lot of like furries and stuff. So I think we're going to be introducing some.
the bunny girls. That you're talking about?
Yeah, like we're
La
going to be seeing
Pinocho?
some. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be very cool.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is because I mean I'm Jedi Jive. I really started this YouTube channel thinking like content like this would eventually exist and that I'd be able to talk about it and react about
We're
it.
here.
And here it is. Yeah, we're getting it. Because unfortunately, the way Disney Star Wars played out over the last whatever it's been now 6-7 years, there was a little bit of animosity towards Star Wars for a while there around the Last Jedi. Whether you're a fan of it or not, Star Wars, its path hasn't been as smooth as Marvel's has been
Right.
over the last few years.
Fair.
And this year is just like another example of like, look at all this like straight Marvel content that we've been enjoying.
right.
And Bad Batch
Next
is the one.
year is the year of Star Wars, though.
Yeah,
The
Bad
amount
Batch
of stuff we're
was
getting
great.
next year
Loved it.
is going to be. It's going to be crazy. We're getting a lot next year, so we will not. We will have probably a week or 2 week break in between, but besides that, we're getting nonstop Star Wars.
Do you think Mando season 3 is gonna be Christmas of next year?
Yes, it's going to be next year. That might bleed into 2023, but yes, it'll be next year.
Okay. I mean, we already know that they were filming it, and
Well,
Yeah.
they're filming it now.
all right. So wait, next year is the year of Star Wars. Do you think we're getting Kenobi in the fall then,
Yeah.
like October maybe?
Well, Boba's got to finish, and I think Andor.
Oh yeah, Andor, dude, crap, dude. And then there's
Andor's long.
the Acolyte was still, and then
Acolyte's not gonna be probably till 2023 though.
2023. Okay, but
yeah.
you think Andor is next year?
Andor is next year because they're done.
Okay, so maybe that's in the spring.
Yeah, and then Kenobi is
Like it'll coincide. Oh, you know what? How long do you think it'll take for a Bad Batch season 2? Is that going to be?
I
that
think
could be
they
pretty quickly.
started working on it a year before they released
Yeah.
the first episode of Bad
Wow.
Batch.
Okay, so we're gonna get Bad Batch season 2 next year.
I think that'll be the break in between Andor and then
we're gonna get Andor.
I
Yeah,
think
I would love for them to space these out. Like
Bad
don't
Batch
overlap.
2, season 2, and then Kenobi. I think.
Yeah, so Book of Boba Fett end of the year. Well,
But then
Vision's
we have,
now,
but then we have
Book of Boba
Ahsoka.
Fett.
I don't know where
Andor.
Ahsoka and Mando season 3 falls in place though. That's
Yeah,
that's
and
what
I know also the the Rangers of the New Republic thing that got messed up
That's
because
not
of like Gina
happening
Carano and
next
all
year.
that. Yeah,
that's not
but
happening next year.
I feel like
that show
Ahsoka-
is like seems
Yeah.
to be. I don't know what they're doing with that show, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that they've mentioned Thrawn in Mando, is that going to be a Mando situation or is it just coincidental? It's like, oh, they mentioned him first in Mando, but he's really going to be an Ahsoka series character.
oh, he's 100% in Ahsoka.
Well, because one of the things we had been discussing for a while is they're taking their hints from Marvel and like, okay, you can have all of these individual character movies and shows or whatever, and then
Right.
build up to a culminating movie, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years later.
Ahsoka
where
is.
Ahsoka's characters, Mando's characters,
I see
all
what
those
you're saying.
characters can come together. in a
I think
movie.
Thrawn could have an involvement in that, but no, he
Yeah.
is like the big villain of
Yeah,
Ahsoka
and then obviously
Ezra and all
the
that stuff.
sequel trilogy really mucks this up because you already kind of know the state of the galaxy by the time you get there, and we don't
Well,
know about any of these. We saw no
I know,
Thrawn in the
but
sequels. We saw
there
no
is
Grogu.
room. There is room for a big thing, a big event. Like not everybody knows all parts of the galaxy. Not everybody's up to date. And there's the Outer Rim, unknown regions.
There's
like,
always the Yuuzhan Vong, right?
There's always that. Like the
yeah,
unknown regions. Like
let's
that's
do
like why can't
extra
let's do,
galactic stuff. Let's bring in
let's
extra other
do-
galaxies.
yeah, let's do a big story at the unknown regions. Like that is completely that is doable.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And just be like, oh, like even though there's this galactic-sized war
yeah,
going on,
there's
like,
stuff
this other
happening
half
on both
the
sides.
galaxy is completely uninvolved and doesn't
Yeah.
even care.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole galaxy. Like
The whole galaxy.
What can one empire really do? They can't.
It's a
they
vast galaxy, probably
Yeah.
endless.
Yeah,
It's
it's true.
I think there is 100% room for
Manny
a
says it's
big
great.
event.
We have so much Star Wars content coming. Yes, please.
Yes, we do.
Yes, please.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't.
Hi, Michael.
I'm a little confused with the schedule for next year. I think in November we'll know because
Yeah.
there's a Disney there's an investors meeting.
And obviously, like COVID continues to throw things off in
Right.
terms of timing and all
Right.
that. And we were even getting worried there about Spider-Man for a second.
Yeah.
Which is actually
Well, because Venom got pushed back, but now it's pushed up to October 1st.
can we talk about that a little bit?
Do you want to talk about that?
some of this Venom stuff?
Yeah.
Now, is this? Oh, well, some of the stuff that you and Levi talked about yesterday is kind of spoilery.
Yeah, we don't have whatever you're comfortable talking about. I will talk about. But.
I think it's I think just talking about the general concept of bringing Venom and Eddie Brock and Spider-Man and MCU and connecting all of it finally, so that it's not like this vague. Are they gonna interact ever? Is it gonna Sony, Marvel? What's happening? Like,
Yeah.
let's just put them together and have
It still is vague though.
have Spider-Man appear in Venom.
Yeah.
Have Venom appear in Spider-Man. Like, stop worrying about all of the legal contracts involved, and the guys just team up, share the content.
I mean,
make
that's
the
what they're
money.
doing
Like,
now.
they
is
have to know
what
that
they're
if they join
doing.
forces, they're gonna make more money than if they just try and
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily like how they're doing it.
Okay.
Like, if that makes sense. Like I
Isn't it kind of like a multiverse based concept?
Yes. Which
Okay,
is
so
like,
you don't like that. You think it's kind of a cop out to do it like that.
well, I mean, the example for No Way Home is like they are pulling out all the stops with all these villains. They're gonna have at least six,
Yeah.
which is a lot in itself.
Go check out Johnny's Hobgoblin theory video, by the way, on the Nerds.
Oh, thank you.
It is
yeah,
the
we'll
best
see.
running theory on.
I'm starting to realize who it could be.
You don't. Hobgoblin's not your choice anymore.
For a narrative, what would be the best narrative?
Could be
I
J.
think,
Jonah
I
Jameson.
think, I think it would be Ned would be the best narrative. But now that I think this Venom secret is
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, Venom is coming out first.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what this.
See where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going, and now I'm following you.
yeah.
we do here. There's another one that I found today. Here's the. Let's see if I can get it to it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Why won't it focus? Come on.
Come on, come on.
There it is. Spider-Man
Oh.
versus J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, I love that art. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
god, those cards are so cool. I wish I grew up when
Yeah.
those cards were a thing.
91, baby.
Oof, that's so cool.
But yeah, you know, we know J. Jonah Jameson is at least an
He's gonna be
antagonist to
pretty
Spider-Man,
big.
right?
Pretty big for at least the first act of the movie.
Yeah, but as in terms of like an official like Sinister Six member, like no, like
No,
just
God, no.
just a seventh.
But here's the thing. So this is why I'm like a little not comfortable with the multiverse thing. They're again pulling out all the stops for this movie, which I like, which I it's gonna be great. I can't wait. But like, you've kind of like, you're really drying up the well of Spider-Man villains by doing this in future projects.
Not necessarily, because I think bringing Venom and Spider-Man together finally is like that could be an ongoing relationship,
right?
For like years.
But I don't want to see
Spider-Man and Venom. I feel like they are the arch nemesis characters to me. You know, it's funny because I'm looking at these 1991 comic cards. I feel like Venom as a character. Remind me, you're gonna know more about this than I am. Venom came into the Spider-Man comic like very late.
Very late 90s.
Like late 80s even, right? Like
yeah, I think it was
so like right around this time when I was collecting these cards, Venom was like the current bad guy in the Spider-Man universe. Like that was Spider-Man's arch nemesis.
Yeah, he got very popular very quick. Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like is the mechanism for the like, yeah, you can talk about Lizard and you can talk about Scorpion and you can talk about all of these characters, Sandman. You know, we've covered some of these, but at the end of the day, those aren't blockbuster characters with billion-dollar movies, right? And Venom is a household name at this point.
Right. So,
especially if it represents like a marriage between these two properties that have kind of been at odds all this time, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not just a antagonistic relationship between Spider-Man and Venom, but the anti-hero, you know, Eddie Brock isn't a bad guy, so why is he fighting Spider-Man, who isn't a bad guy either? Like you got a lot of story to tell there, and that can go a long way.
My issue is, you know, all these villains that they're now putting in the movie. I mean, like, you know, we've already talked at length about who it's gonna be, but like knowing that they've kind of rid of story potential with all those characters. Oh, it's so cool. Man. Knowing that like we've lost all the story potential with those characters, like I don't want to see that, because I'm assuming they either go back to their universes or they die at the end of the movie. So I don't want to see like them pop up in like a Spider-Man form, like they're the main villain, because like you've already cut off that potential of like having a Spider-Man versus.
Well,
whoever.
no, but you're assuming that the conflict is resolved at the end of the movie, which it does not have to be.
I that's true.
And we've established this Marvel universe is definitely a universe of ongoing storylines and overlapping scenarios that are, you know, this could be a movie where it's just like, you know, Infinity War, where you're like shocked at the end, like what, the bad guy won,
a two-parter,
yeah, exactly. We don't know Spider-Man 4 isn't a thing. Venom is still currently. Well,
Tom is gonna play Peter in the future. We know that at least. So
it's good now to keep him as Spider-Man for sure. Not just because of his connectedness to the MCU in general, but also Tom Holland is just young and talented and is like, he's the third Spider-Man now.
Right.
You know, Batman, I feel like it's a different scenario where it's almost like that James Bond, like taking up the mantle of like where it's like there's different eras of James Bond, there's different eras of Batman where you're like, okay, this is Michael Keaton Batman, this, you know, George Clooney, Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
There's all these different, you know, but I feel like Spider-Man now, this is the third Spider-Man. Like I see it less as that, like this is this generation's Spider-Man.
No, that's true. I agree with that.
But yeah, you know, it all depends.
But my point is like you can't have like an MCU Dr. Octopus now. You can't have an MCU Sandman now. You can't have a MCU Green Goblin, especially like Oscorp. Just must not.
I'm still a little curious as what you mean by why you can't. Like why because
like it doesn't. You've already like done it. Like you can't like like I wouldn't want to see like Willem Dafoe being Green Goblin, like he's the main villain of this movie, and then like in the future they set up like Oscorp and like Harry, like that you can't do Harry Osborn now, and like it'd just be weird to already have that.
Yeah, I like looking
Green
at it more sort of
Goblin,
like this.
And then
This
not have one in the future, like if you have one in the future, like that would be kind of weird. I don't know.
Well, if
don't
this movie is used up as a way to set up the Sinister Six, so that like the end of this movie is like them, like, oh shit, now there's like a new gang of bad guys. There's like the evil, the you know.
I guess that's true. We don't know how it's gonna end. I guess I'll have a better idea of everything once.
Yeah. Well, then there was one other thing you guys talked about yesterday, which is kind of also kind of spoilery, which is it's Daredevil related.
Oh, Hawkeye.
No. Well, we can talk about that. Yeah, I know you said you loved the trailer for Hawkeye, right?
Hawkeye, that slapped.
You slapped. Yeah, okay.
It's so
yeah.
good.
I really loved the
I loved that trailer.
They did not shy away from the holiday vibe.
God, no. And I loved that. And they went full throttle with it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was just like Christmas.
Okay,
cool.
I'm so in.
Yeah,
so
all right,
in.
cool.
Hawkeye,
Yeah.
I feel like might be my favorite MCU show of the year.
You're getting bold with that.
I'm getting bold, but I'm excited.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, that was the most exciting trailer of
And that was also a like not expecting it trailer too, which also made it a lot more enjoyable.
I honestly liked that trailer better than the No Way Home trailer. Like,
no, really? Wow.
Like I got more hype
coming from you
for Hawkeye. Yeah, I'm excited. For Hawkeye.
Okay, because I wasn't necessarily like
really
that
liked
level
the
of
story.
hype by it. It was more just sort of like pleasantly surprised, I would say.
Oh no, I'm like really excited for the story, especially
Michael-
what's to come.
Michael Cote also said we still have Rhino, Vulture, Scorpion, Kingpin, Hammerhead, and Shocker. Is Shocker the same thing as Electro?
Shockers. What is he talking
No.
about specifically? Is he talking about like the No Way Home?
Yeah, Spider-Man villains.
So for Spider-Man villains, I mean Shocker. Yeah, Shocker and Electro are different. They're like kind of similar, I guess. But Shocker's already in the MCU.
Yeah, but Kingpin is the one. Kingpin is the one where we're like, that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean like it's pretty much.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a spoiler graphic ready to go, but if you guys wanted to,
he is.
Yeah.
Well, all right, I won't get into it.
This kind of ties in with like the whole Venom. Well, it doesn't.
Well, not so much because that's already in the universe. Like they're not adding that.
Sure.
So,
but it does in
Venom
terms of the like blending properties and
yeah, because it technically is within
Fox
MCU.
Quicksilver in WandaVision turned out to be red herring kind of, and then didn't pan out. But that scenario, that was the like, oh, they're bringing Fox into MCU now. We're finally going to start blending. We're going to start getting. We thought we were going to see Reed Richards like Young Griffin or whatever. We thought we were going to get all of that.
Yeah.
God, we get so ahead of ourselves doing this sometimes.
Yeah, whatever.
But at the end of the day, man, when you have all of these like decades worth of comic books and this is material that's on the table, sometimes it's not like reckless speculation because it's coming. It's a thing.
But with WandaVision, it was
like Galactus is going to be in the MCU eventually.
At
Silver
some point,
Surfer is going to be in the.
I think Kang is the main focus. I think until we get like at least 2 Fantastic Four movies, maybe then they'll start teasing Galactus, which is like probably 5 years out.
Yeah, there were a lot of people on the Eternals trailer when the Celestial showed up that were like, "Is that Galactus?" Like,
no, God no.
I know, but that particular Celestial, it looked like it was like
I get the
burgundy
vibe.
colored with like stuff on its ears.
He's purple. Well, he's purple, burgundy.
But also in that Eternals trailer, they're trying to make it seem like what could possibly dictate, the universe to us, and then it's like Celestials. Yeah. But that really was just the same thing that you see in Guardians of the Galaxy.
They're the same
Power
ones.
Stone.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know if you wanted to talk about that Kingpin scenario at all.
I mean, up to you. I will talk about it.
I just some of these things where it's like you label it as spoilery, and now I'm like, is it really though? Is this really spoilery?
Have you seen Daredevil?
I haven't watched the entire show, but I've watched I've seen. It's hard not to talk about.
Watch it. Please, I want you to. You're gonna like it's my favorite MCU thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Like,
no. I know
ever.
you I know well Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, we had a little bit of a Matt Murdock.
It's not. It's not Matt
It's
Murdock.
not.
I know.
It's not Matt Murdock.
No, it's not.
Um
But I mean, like,
but also you mentioned this with Levi yesterday. Remember how I was saying when I was collecting these Marvel cards as a kid, like
Yeah.
Venom was the bad guy
Venom
in the
was
Spider-Man universe in like
huge.
in the current like coming out this week comics.
Yeah.
Like he was a new character. Like
Yeah.
and
no, he was very new. Yeah.
yeah, so like at the same time, I feel like Kingpin was
appearance.
viewed as like you said this yesterday with Levi, like he controls everything, like
Everything.
yeah,
He's the kingpin of crime. It's
and
his
that's why we
name.
were like, Sharon Carter could even be calling Kingpin
right.
at the end of
Which I mean, like, yeah. I don't care about the power broker thing, but yes, I see what you're
but
saying.
like Val Contessa, Sharon Carter, a lot of like Ten Rings type stuff. Shang-Chi's sister, Xialing, what's her name?
Yeah,
Is it
Xialing.
Yeah. These are characters I think we're gonna see. You're talking about
Some
Spider-Man
kind of crime
guys specifically,
syndicate,
but
yeah,
yeah, getting Kingpin, getting those wheels set in motion. I feel like getting the crime world side of things brings in the Daredevil, brings in all of that.
there's word that he's gonna be a little. He's not gonna be exactly like the Netflix version. So so they're changing up the canon a little bit, which makes sense because some of the stuff they're not continuing.
Yep. Okay. So Michael's saying Hobgoblin, Punisher. Okay. Yeah. Like again, like we're talking about crossing properties, like Daredevil.
Punisher, I think
Punisher is
when
definitely
he
another one.
when he comes in will not be the Netflix Punisher.
It will not be John Bernthal.
No, sadly,
Yeah.
even though I love John Bernthal, I think
Yeah,
he's
that
perfect for
was a great
role,
show.
But I don't. But Kevin Feige has said he does not like that show.
But yeah, also yeah, dude, Punisher. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, Kingpin.
There's also characters that appeared in the Fox X-Men movies that were like, you know, teenagers, like Iceman, for instance. He's like, you know, a mutant teenager in X-Men.
But think about it, Deadpool's coming in.
Yeah.
Deadpool's coming.
Dude, and this
we
just
know
brings
that.
up a whole other conversation about mutants and the whole... Because we
I
started...
think they're rebooting all the X-Men stuff. I don't think they're going to bring everything
Okay, because we had started going back to the mutant conversation when we were watching WandaVision at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think that was also kind of like a we're doing our own thing, because like they teased it. They did it in the meanest way possible, but I don't.
Yeah, because there were so many characters. We were like, when we thought it was gonna be Reed Richards in WandaVision, we were also thinking it could be Hank McCoy.
That was a little far fetched. That's when we got kind of.
Oh my god, so many characters that are like Ghost Rider, bro.
Ghost Rider. I mean,
a lot of characters that are like alternate property
is in
characters.
Agents of Shield, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Ghost Rider. I would really like to see Ghost Rider, but I don't know. I mean, again, like Blade, again Moon Knight, which are like
1988. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 299.
88. Okay, 88. Gotcha.
So yeah, this was in 91.
Venom
was the hot shit, man.
That was the start of his popularity, for sure.
Yeah.
No, Venom was huge.
And I loved it. I loved Venom, especially since it seemed almost cool because his look was very Spider-Man like in terms of his, you know, the mask on his face and all that.
Yeah,
he seemed like the Black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The evil Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In a way.
No, he's great. He's a great character. I'm excited to see what they do with the MCU and how they deal with that. But
there's one for you, Johnny. Wait a minute. Let's see if we can.
I'm excited, but well, there's that. Chameleon's supposed to be in an upcoming project.
That's first appearance. Amazing Spider-Man number one.
Yep, I have it. I'm looking at it right now.
1963. There you go.
Chameleon is so in the comics, Kraven and Chameleon are actually brothers or stepbrothers or something like that. I can't remember, but they're brothers, and it was a whole big story in the comics. And we know that Kraven's getting his own movie, and a lot of people are like, there's going to be some other Spider-Man villains in that movie as well. So it might be Chameleon, because Chameleon would make the most sense because they're brothers. So.
Oh yeah, there was. I had never seen more from this character Calypso, but that supposedly is a
Calypso, yeah.
Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, I don't know much about her, but
Amazing Spider-Man number 209, 1980.
yeah.
So she's been around a little while.
Newer, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, like, I am prejudging this a little bit. I'll admit it. I know I am. Like, I'm just the whole multiverse situation, and how they're handling, bringing characters and whatnot. And I think once it's all fleshed out, I think I will like it. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, it's exciting stuff, man.
Yeah.
We didn't specifically mention the name of the guy that was. I wanted to avoid spoilers. It's kind of hard to talk about. But I don't think it's not illegal to talk about Kingpin being.
No.
What we're talking about is Kingpin being in the MCU.
Vincent D'Onofrio is pretty much confirmed to be in the MCU. Here's a bunch of evidence. When the Hawkeye trailer came out, a lot of people were tweeting and Instagram and whatever, and Vincent D'Onofrio was liking a bunch of posts.
Mm-hmm.
And and there have been talks about him coming in the MCU and he's wanted it for years and years, like since the Netflix cancellation. And the story is literally just like dealing with the aftermath of Ronin, and like we know that Ronin like went after like all the crime syndicates, like all the crime bosses, like we saw that in Avengers Endgame. Like, and
isn't it specifically Yakuza he's taking out in Infinity War when
in Hawkeye? Yeah, in Endgame, yes.
Endgame, yeah,
yes.
When she goes to get him,
but like Kingpin is
so that could tie in even with Shang-Chi.
Right, runs all of crime. Like that is who Kingpin. Like he is the top guy. And
he like was in Spider-Verse, in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. It's another,
they did put him in that.
Yeah. But that's basically what the show's gonna be like. It's like all the crime people who are left are gonna try to enact revenge on Clint, and who better to be hiring them and leading them than the Kingpin of crime himself. It just makes a lot of story sense. And there was also a confirmed leak by a scooper who's like very reputable. I don't know. I know of
that says Amazing Spider-Man 1988, like same time.
I recognize him. I haven't read much of the 80s comics. I'm catching up, but I am. Yeah. But there was I don't know if you really want to get into this part, but there's like a scooper who's like extremely reputable. Like he has a Patreon specifically for reports. Like it's when he reports something, it's legit because he has a very, very high
good track record. Yeah.
And he basically said yes, he's in it. It's gonna be a little different than the Netflix version, because the Netflix version, I think, like in the Netflix version of Kingpin is like so good, like amazing stuff, but like he's not as big of a threat as he is in the comics, I guess, if that makes sense. Obviously, like the Netflix shows went for a little bit of more realistic tone, so they had to, I guess, not dumb him down a little bit, but like bring his there's Craven, bring his like level of I don't know what. Hopefully I'm making sense, but basically like Kingpin's gonna be like the head of all of this, and like he's gonna be like much more involved, it seems. That was kind of the explanation, but yeah.
Michael Cote brought up She-Hulk too, which is another thing we kind
She-Hulk,
of about. And Moon Knight is another one.
Moon Knight, I cannot wait for Moon Knight. It's going to be.
Is this 2022 stuff?
2023. Oh wait,
She-Hulk I thought was going to be the next one.
Moon Knight's probably going to be next year.
Right, because Loki was the last show, and now we're having Eternals, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man,
Hawkeye.
No Way Home.
Nope, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye is a show. That's right. Okay, but then after Hawkeye was supposed to be She-Hulk, I thought.
No, it's Miss Marvel.
They've rearranged this a bunch of times.
It's Miss Marvel.
Oh.
And then Yeah, Moon Knight's gonna be
Anyway,
next
they're
year.
pointing out that Jennifer
She-Hulk's
Walters is a
done.
lawyer. Like, you could easily have the Jennifer Walters, Matt Murdock.
You could have Matt Murdock in there. You could
Yeah,
have
anytime you
Jessica
get the
Jones in there because
lawyers,
she's a PI.
Yeah.
She's a private investigator. Yeah, She-Hulk. You can easily have all that stuff in there. I mean, like Matt is like very closely tied to She-Hulk in the comics too, because obviously they're both lawyers.
We have so easily and quickly forgotten about this slew of characters we've already been introduced this year too, like John Walker, for instance. That's the story that's coming back eventually.
Yelena.
Yelena, exactly.
All the Eternals.
Well, actually,
Shang-Chi. Everyone from Shang-Chi. No.
Because I was thinking that Yelena, because she works for
Val,
she's
she's also gonna be like in Hawkeye, like through the whole
yeah,
thing.
you know what? That's what was my initial reaction to that trailer, was the like, all right, like everybody's a big fan of Yelena now.
Yeah. No,
Bring on the Florence Pugh. Like, I was convinced they were at least gonna like flash her face.
I feel like they're gonna like keep her as a surprise, even though she's not really a surprise.
So now it really seems. You know what? Another thing I felt about that trailer was a nice surprise, was that in like the way that they put Haley Steinfeld like front and center. I felt like in terms of like. In the same way that Yelena is like taking over the mantle of Black Widow, and like that her character was a very pleasant, like, wow, this was Yelena. This movie was more about her than it was about Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
Like, almost. I feel like this is one of those, oh, it's Hawkeye, but this is serving as the origin story.
Right.
For her character.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, Hawkeye is still going to be, does that mean maybe even he dies at the end? I
don't think he's gonna die. I think he's gonna retire. I hope he doesn't.
He's gonna retire and like go to his family, and like that's that.
Because that's the whole thing. Like, he needs to get home before Christmas to see his kids. Like, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, you want to see that happen too. You don't.
He has to take care of stuff, before he goes back home. So.
Yeah,
I think it's like one last hurrah for Clint.
The origin stories. It's like we're seeing some characters like in Loki. There's Sylvie, who's the like, okay, it's an alternate Loki, but it's also like this like we're kind of like starting, not necessarily passing the Loki mantle on to her, but like there is sort of that repetitive.
I see what you're
theme
saying.
Yeah. So like, you know, like Monica Rambeau is like we got her origin story. Like White Vision is gonna take over from regular Vision.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what Vision's gonna pop up in again.
Well, there are characters that we were introduced to this year where like we know it's coming back, and it's one of those. There's this transition from Phase 3 into Phase 4, which is like now. It really started to feel that way in Loki. I felt like where it was like, okay, now we're in Phase 4. Like this is a thing now.
Yeah,
it's not.
Loki was definitely that show for that.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, like, yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the year with stuff, and we got Hawkeye, and I'm really excited for Hawkeye, especially and also, well, I'm not gonna. I guess I don't want to spoil it because it's unnecessary. I guess, but about the whole Kingpin thing, but
yeah. Well, we already said
it. Well, yeah, I mean, they said what episode is gonna pop in. I don't want to ruin that for anybody. So
yeah, Brent says he can't wait to see all these side characters start popping up in feature film universe, like Sylvie and Agatha. Yeah, there you go, another one, Agatha.
Agatha's probably gonna be in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And it really, to me, it just gives me a lot of hope for the next Infinity War situation that we find ourselves in.
Secret Wars.
Yeah, Secret Wars. There you go. You're gonna have to start blending all of this together.
Secret Wars is literally literally the multiverse war.
And then we haven't completely just like, you don't just like throw out all of the old and bring in the new. Like, there are still those bastions of like the old. Like Thor is still a thing. We have a new Thor movie coming out. Like, Jesus F, dude, we have so many things that are supposed to be coming out in the next couple years. It's just never ending.
Between Marvel and Star Wars, and that's not even like the only stuff we're even into. I mean, we got like, I don't know if you've seen The Boys, but The Boys is coming.
Oh, and we just
Cobra
saw
Kai.
Bruce Banner showed up in the
Cobra
end
of yeah. Oh, wait. He's not Hulk anymore.
Of Shang-Chi. Yeah. He's not. He's
okay.
Bruce Banner
I love the off-camera.
But then there's also like Grey Hulk. There's other Hulk, right? We haven't seen Grey Hulk. Right?
We kind of did in Age of Ultron, but yes.
Did we?
Kind of.
Oh.
That's what they claim.
And isn't there also Red Hulk?
Red Hulk is... I think he's coming. I think he is. Like, if they're setting up this team with Yelena, John Walker, etc., I think Thunderbolt Ross is obviously still alive, and I think... And you know what? It was kind of funny.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
He's old. He's old. He's old. That guy is old. So why not try to get the Hulk the gamma radiation, get the Hulk form, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh my goodness.
and,
Doctor
and
Strange,
try to save his youth by turning into Hulk. I don't know.
No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Thor 4. Like, and then even when they gave out like their slate of
Captain
like their
Marvel
upcoming
2,
movies, like
Black
they
Panther
teased
2.
the Fantastic Four at the end of it.
Yep. Blade. Yep.
Yep.
There's a lot.
Oh my God, Blade! There's another one where it's like that's something that is just.
Blade and Moon Knight, I am so excited for.
I'm sorry. Did they already? It wasn't like Mahershala Ali or something like that.
Yeah.
Was it? Is that who they got to
That's
be
Blade.
the next
Yeah,
Blade?
he's playing Blade. Yeah.
So Mahershala Ali
Yep.
is gonna. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Loved him in Alita Battle Angel. He's always
He's great. He's fantastic.
He's got good
actor.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. Johnny and I both have to go. Thanks for hanging out and joining with us.
Thank you.
It's been fun as usual. We love talking about this with you guys. And
Lavelle says, "Are we getting Adam Warlock?" Yes, in Guardians 3.
yeah, they teased Adam Warlock at the end of Guardians 2.
Yeah.
And that's another.
Guardians
by the
3
way,
is actually being prepped on right now.
by the way, real quick before we wrap this up, I've
Yeah.
been talking to tie it all into the theme that we've been talking about with when I was a kid in like 1991.
Yeah.
Adam Warlock. Is in terms of these cards. Let me show you his stats in a second.
Hold on. There we go. Yep. There we go.
His stats were like, are you serious? Like this guy is like
He's
a god. He's a
he
god. And the way we saw it when we were kids was Adam Warlock is the only person other than Thanos who could wield the Infinity Gauntlet without screwing himself up. Like, Hulk was able to barely do it.
That's why like
Hulk almost killed himself.
Everybody was thinking he was coming much earlier because like he's a big part of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline in the comics.
Yeah.
So
like Adam Warlock was the ultimate good, like
we thought
not necessarily a hero, but
he
could be a good guy or a bad guy technically.
Yeah.
Even though he's like a good guy.
Right.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out. Keep it real. Go over check out All New Nerds. Like I said, go check out Johnny's Hobgoblin Theory. I love that video.
Thank you.
And also for more on the topics that we were talking about today, Johnny and Levi had a great live chat yesterday. Go check it out.
Thank you.
Go subscribe to All New Nerds. Even though I see Wrenches and Brent. Wrench and Brent. And Black Loki, Lavelle. Thanks guys for being here. We love having you here. Keep it real. Thanks, Johnny.
See you guys. Thank you.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
See you, buddy.